Okay, so I had to delete my last video because I had shared something that I'm not sharing yet online, and I just kind of slipped out. So that doesn't happen again. But I had gone to the ER yesterday. I had a scare with something, and God has His hand over it. It's okay. That being said, I'm on bed rest, and I need to be cautious about what I do, the and all that stuff. I'm waiting to talk to a doctor. I've been trying to make an appointment so that way I can see when I can do stuff. Cause I don't want to go and I don't want to go into work without knowing 100% when I can do stuff because um, I don't want to risk anything happening. But that being said, I know God has His hand over everything. um, if everything goes the way that I want, that I hope, it'll be such a blessing, and I'll be so grateful. If it doesn't, then I know God has a reason for everything. And you know what? I've seen with that scare people that don't have a relationship with the Lord come closer to God, praying for that situation, praying for what happened, and I see it bringing people closer to God, and that in of itself is a blessing. I would love for everything to go well, um, but God is already using this situation. I I know He has His hand over it, and I know that He knows what He's doing. So I shouldn't worry. I do worry. I shouldn't though. I have been trying to find homes. See the mama here for all 5 of her little kittens. Of course, I'm not getting rid of them yet because they're still little. Ooh, sorry, baby. You caught me. No, baby. I want to make sure to find really good homes. Really loving homes and ones that can afford to give them the vet visits that they need and the love that they need and everything that they need. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that God just has His hand over everything. He knows what He is doing. And I think the best thing, whether it goes the way that I want or not, is to be close to God because He knows the outcome already. And He knows the situation. He knows what's going to happen. And He knows why it's going to happen. He is in control of it all. And He has His hand over everything. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity because this is, although it's kind of a scary situation, something that, you know, that I really, really want to go well. You know, the news that I heard at the ER was a little scary, and it affects the people around me too. But He knows what's gonna happen. He knows why it's gonna happen. And if it, you know, if it turns out to be a blessing all the way around, that would be amazing. So, like any prayers are appreciated. Anything you have to say, just God's there. Anything that you're going through, God's there. He knows the outcome already. He's already been there. And good or bad, there's a reason for it. And He is still there for you. And He still loves you. And He's still gonna be there for you to talk to and to vent to and to go through everything with. You know, you don't go through it alone because even though He had it happen for a reason. He is still hurt. He doesn't want to see his kids hurt. It doesn't mean things are going to be perfect. It doesn't mean everything's going to go our way. It doesn't mean we're going to get everything that we want. But he does feel our pain. And so, luckily, things are still looking good. I know that he has a plan. And I know so many people that go through things that hurt them, and I'm like, God has worked everything out for my husband and I so well. He really has. And you know, I don't know what everyone's going through. I don't know what might be like something that brings you fear, brings you hurt, but God knows. He knows. And he's there for you. He's right there, ready to listen to you, ready to hear you vent, ready to... And things might not always go for the worst, you know? And no matter what situation it is, God can use it. The prayers that I've seen, God is using that. God is using this situation to bring people closer to God. And that in and of itself is amazing. And it's wonderful. And I love to think about how no matter what, like, this situation is, like, it might be scary, yeah, but God, He's already using it. He knows what He's doing. And the fact that it didn't, like, go downhill or anything like that, like, everything is okay still. And He already is using it for something. And He still is continuing to use it. I have people praying still, even though they know that everything is still there. They're still praying. They're still seeking after God. And I just feel so blessed. And there's nothing like feeling the love of God. Not just through Him, but through the people around you. Knowing that He has your back. And He shows it. With the things around you, He'll show it. And you just have to pay attention to it, you know. Look at how God is moving in life, in your life, in other people's lives. Don't count what could happen or what might happen, what has happened. Okay, yeah, bad things happen. But look at how God can turn it around and use it for something better. You know? And He is, you know, I'm so grateful because He's given me this opportunity. And it's still there, and it's something I've wanted my whole life. And He's still using it. He's using it, and He's okay. It is okay. Anyway, this was just like a really long talk. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless you. If you have anything you're going through, let me know. I'll keep it in prayer. And if you watch this whole video, which I don't know if anyone will, but, you know, hopefully someone got something out of it. And if someone got something out of it, that would be great. And it's like finding the blessings rather than looking at what could happen. I'm a negative thinker. I've always been like that. I'm like, this could happen, that could happen. I let this fear and this overthinking consume me and consume my life. But the peace that God has given me recently is, I don't feel like that right now. Like it's a scary situation. There is a little bit of fear, but more so there is just gratefulness. Just that peace of like, I'm not the only one going like that, thought this or thought that, but God has it. He has it. There's no reason to fear. There's no reason to worry. And whatever happens, it's in good hands. My life, my loved ones' lives are in good hands. We really are. God bless, and I love you. And I hope that you feel loved through anything you might be going through, anything that might have fear lingering. It's not of God. Fear isn't of God. Worry isn't of God. It is not something that He gives us. He teaches us to have faith and to know that He is God, and it is in His hands. And no matter what happens, He had a reason for it, and it's gonna be okay. To have that kind of faith is something that I want, and something I want my loved ones to have. Anyway, God bless. Bye.